In this video, I'm going to see why the Raptors are 11th seed in the Eastern Conference and 6-7. And throughout this 13-game stretch that we've had, it's a lot of ups and downs on the Raptors fans. I know you guys have just been like, some games you're like, blow it up. Some games it's like, I like this player. It's like, that's the thing about the Raptors. We are in limbo. We are basically the middle of the pack, the worst place to be in the NBA. And when I look at the problems the Raptors have, number one, 3-point percentage and free throw percentage. You're shooting like 69% from the free throw line. And it's crazy because I'm looking at this game. SIAKAM has been making his free throws. Gary Trant, OG and OG. SIAKAM has never made his free throws. But most of our starters can't shoot free throws. And being second to dead last in free throw percentage, there's no way we can even punish people for driving in the paint and I'm getting lazy. There's been games we've lost just because of free throws, especially in the beginning of the season. There have been literal games where we lost because of free throws. Shooting 60-70% from the free throw line, they're free for a reason. They are free for a reason, and we can't make any free throws, and we can't shoot at all. 22nd in field goal percentage and 27th in 3-point percentage. We as a team cannot shoot at all, but we shoot. We can't shoot, but we shoot. It's but we do make it up for it. We do make up for it with our defense. We're top half in steals, middle of the pack of blocks. But if you're an 11 seed, that's not that bad. And we have been sharing the ball a lot. It might be skewed because we just slapped up the Detroit Pistons last game, but we're averaging like 29 assists. I don't think we've ever done that. Not we have ever, but I don't think we normally pass the ball as well as we have this season. We are sharing the ball more. It's more evenly spread, I think. And the big takeaway, I think, is that we do look like we're playing more as a team, but our team just isn't formulated to excel. And that's on Masai. That is on Masai. The big takeaways from the starters, if you look at Dennis Schroeder, one of our new pickups, and for his price tag, he's been good. He's had some games where he looked awful, especially that Bucks game. It was like he couldn't do anything right. But he's been solid. He's averaging 16, 7, and 3. 16 points, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds. And he honestly plays decent defense. Of course, he can't guard the bigger guys, but he plays decent defense, good help defense, and stripping the ball when people are driving in. And he's very good at going over screens, I think. That's something Fred VanVleet had troubles with. I shouldn't be comparing them, but I'm just looking at the price tag. And he's giving us similar production from Fred VanVleet, less shots. And I think he's a good fit. I think the screen and roll game with Jakob has been better than with Fred VanVleet. He finds people very well in certain situations. And he's a real point guard where he tries to pass it. I like that he doesn't force any shots. Even though he's not shooting like 50% from the field, most of the shots he takes are good shots. So I'm never mad at his shot selection. And then you look at Scotty Barnes. He's been our best player, honestly. He's been making much better strides with his offense and is looking more confident. He's averaging 20 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 1.5 steals, and 1.5 blocks. He's been doing literally everything for us. And like he's had highlight games, especially that Spurs game, where it's like he could be a problem. Honestly, he could be a problem. And when you look at Scotty Barnes, how he's playing, and then you go to SIAKAM. SIAKAM's still averaging like 19 points, but he started off really rough. And he's trying to get back to the all-star caliber player he is. But, I mean, he is shooting 50% from the field. But his 3-point percentage has gotten worse. Like, he's shooting 25% from the 3-point line. And he's shooting 69% from the 3. 69% from the free throw line. If I'm comparing it to his numbers from last year, he's regressed. And yes, Scotty Barnes is taking that big jump. And OG is being more confident with his shots. So the shots are just getting less and less for him. But him shooting 50% and scoring like 4 or 5 less points, he's averaging 3 less shots. But him shooting that bad from the free throw line, when he could easily be averaging 22, 23 points, based on the free throws he's been missing, I think he just got to do better. Siakam has got to do better if we are pushing for the 6 seed. Because the Eastern Conference, honestly, I thought he'd be a stronger conference, but it's looking like a 5-headed race with the Bucks. I mean, Bucks haven't been that good, but they'll get it together. Bucks, the Celtics have been playing great. Indiana's been playing great. Like there's not that many teams. The Sixers have been playing amazing. Tyrese Maxey going crazy. There's only like 5 good teams, and the rest are just like the Knicks and Cavs. I thought they'd be better. It's just a bunch of just a lot of teams like us that are just in limbo. Bulls especially, like a lot of teams that just mediocre, just mediocre. But back to the starters. Jakob Poeltl, after signing that big contract, he's been decent. I'm not gonna say he's been bad. He's been decent, playing good defense. I do think that I miss him. That I don't know if everyone knows this, but as a Raptor fan, the reason why I liked Jakob Poeltl so much is he had that little floater to his game where he'd be in like he screen and roll. And after if Fred is driving in, Fred can pass it out to him at like the free throw line or anything like that, or a little bit closer to the paint, and you just do that push shot that he does. He hasn't been doing that much this season. I think he can make that 11 points per game go to like 13, 14 if he just does it more often. But I think he'll be better. I think Dennis and him will get better at that screen and roll. Even Scotty Barnes, because Scotty Barnes has been making some good passes as well. But after that big payday, I also expected him to probably average like 14, 15 points, solid 10 rebounds. But he's been all right. He's been all right. And now we look at OG. Unfortunately, he's already been injured. It's crazy to say, but he's already been injured. And but at the beginning of the season, he was cash. He was shooting with confidence. He's shooting also bad from the free throw line, and I think as a team we got to shoot better. I don't know what this is, but having a lot of our starters shoot below 70% from the free throw line is just bad. OG's defense has been great, amazing this season though. So him and Scotty have been a terror on the defensive end. Siakam not so much, but the defense has been there. But OG, I honestly thought that I'd see, like, because it can be a payday for him, he's always talked about wanting a bigger role in the offense, but he doesn't have a bag. Like, he can't make his own shot. He can make use of his body against smaller defenders for sure, and he can shoot. But that in-between game, it's not there yet. And he's been in the league for 7 years. I don't think that's his game. I don't know why he still wants a bigger role. I think that at best he could be a Jeremy Grant. And even Jeremy Grant, I think, is better than OG. And that might be crazy for a lot of fans. But if in our starting lineup we had Jeremy Grant, I think it would look different. Yes, this might be crazy, but I think it would look differently. But he's still been good, averaging 16 points, decent. It's just a lot of our players are basically the same or similar, so it's like there's no room for actual growth. We're just sharing the ball, seeing who can do what. But if you look at our bench hasn't been bad. Even though we probably don't have the best benches, if you look at our bench, a lot of them play minutes with the starters, so it's like we have layered lineups. But Precious Chua, like him, he basically shares not the starting center position, but him and Jakob switch a lot because it might be a matchup that is more in Precious' favor. He's better at switching and guarding. He can guard like a Jason Tatum if it's a screen and roll, and he's also strong too. And he's been a great rebounder. He's a great second look for Jakob, and he's done a good job of just slowing down. Because last year, if you saw Precious, he would just be out of control. He would try to do too much. But now he's calm. He's more assertive with what he's doing. If he grabs a rebound and he knows he can't go up, passes it out. Been great. Gary Trant. Gary Trant, man. Oh my goodness. He has been unbelievably inconsistent. He's shooting less than 40% from the field and 37% from three. That means most of the shots he's even making are threes. He should just stick to shooting threes. Because he goes in the paint. It's a block. He goes in the paint for foul calls, not even to make the layups. and he's just unreliable. And for him, this is a big season for him, and he doesn't look like he's taking that stride. We needed him to be our sixth man of the year. And him averaging 11 points on 39% from the field is horrible. Especially because he doesn't give us anything else. I mean, he gives us defense for sure, but for that to be our sixth man, he's got to do better. And then Grady Dick, our rookie. Darko is still letting him play, and I'm not mad at it because every time the rookie comes in, he comes in with good energy. He's shooting less than 30% from the field, though. He's shooting 28% from the field and 24% from the three. I don't know what I expected from him, but I'm going to be honest. I saw a white guy. I automatically assumed that he'd be able to shoot at least 35% from the three-point line, or 34. But he's had a bad start to the season. And, of course, if he's coming into the game and only playing 6-7 minutes, you can't expect him to be as good as he is. But, yeah, I think I'm not mad at him still playing because he's our first-round pick, and we got to show him that we have faith. But when you have Grady Dick coming off the bench and also Jaden McDaniels, bro, when we got him, I thought he was going to be so good. But, bro, this guy's made like 1-3 in 13 games. I actually was excited to see him because I be seeing the other Jalen McDaniels at Minnesota, and I don't know. I just expect more from him. But every time Jalen McDaniels gets on the court, I'm like, I'd rather have Thaddeus Young or Otto Porter. I don't even know what I think Jaden McDaniels is shooting like 25% for like 18%. Like, he's shooting even worse than Grady Dick, honestly. And I'm just like, some games he comes in the game, man, it's just brick. I hope he gets better because he paid him money. We're giving him more minutes than Otto Porter, and we were giving him more minutes than Chris Boucher. But Chris Boucher, when he came back, he's been playing great. He's one of our brightest spots in this team. Brings in energy. He's fast paced. He's running. Doesn't give up. Blocks. He's even shooting better than most of our players. Chris Boucher's been a bright spot, and Malachi Flynn, honestly. Malachi Flynn, man. Some people don't like him. Some people don't like Malachi Flynn, but I think I like him because he's finally with Darko. He's finally getting minutes as a backup point guard. I think he could be a great backup point guard. He has energy. Of course, I feel like because people don't look at him as anything, like they just punk him on defense when he's playing defense. But he tries. He tries, honestly. And I think that with more time playing, because in his 4 or 5 years in Toronto, he hasn't really played. But more times he's playing, the confidence will be there because he can actually shoot. And I think that when he has more reps, he'll be more assertive and turn that 6 points per game to like 8. Honestly, 8-9. And 8-9 from your backup point guard is good. Even 6 points and almost 3 assists from the backup point guard is good. I think people overestimate the job of a backup point guard. But Malachi Flynn, I think he's been doing a great job, honestly. I'm happy that we play him. But what I think we should do about this, though, honestly, looking at everyone, we need to, if we're looking at becoming potentially a playing team again, we got to change something. We have to change something. I think we go all in with Zach LaVine and trade SIAKAM, Gary Trent, some picks for Zach LaVine. So at least we can go from a playing team to a 7-8 seed. Because honestly, it's either we blow it up and just focus on Scotty Barnes. And I don't know if I want another rebuild because we're not that bad to the point where it's like just give up. But we can't have the same roster, basically, and have the same result for 2 years in a row. We can't. We just can't. We went from 3 years ago when we tanked, got Scotty. Then we played Scotty first season. It wasn't that good. And after his second season, we were playing. Now this is going to be the third season. If we're playing again, 3 seasons of just not being a good team, we might as well blow it up. But if we don't blow it up and we still want to just make some noise, a little bit of noise for the next 2-3 years, go on with Zach LaVine. Have Dennis, Zach, OG, Scotty, and Yaka be our starting lineup and just go crazy. Because Zach LaVine is something we need. We need a 3-level scorer that can make free throws, make threes. He's a decent 3-point shooter. The Bulls have been bad, so I'm not even gonna look at the numbers he's been averaging. But the Bulls have been bad this season. So I mean, I'm one to talk as a Raptor fan, but still, the Bulls have been bad. But we gotta go all in, and I don't think he will trade any. I don't think Masai's gonna trade any players because I think January 15th is when you can trade people that have signed contract extensions, something along those lines. So that's when most of the players are going to be available. So I think we're going to stick with this lineup or this roster until January, I think. But we got to choose something. If you like the video, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and peace.